You're listening to WZMB, Zombie Radio, your personal soundtrack to the end of the world. That was the gem from Iceland, Björk, and Human Behavior. I wonder if good old Björk rewrote that song now, exactly what it would sound like. Because I would venture to say that human behavior is not exactly what it was back in the 90s. Or maybe it is. Maybe we're all just kidding ourselves, and the Mengele Virus only released our inner zombie that had already been present. Well, as you might expect, while that song was delightfully lilting about in your speakers, I was giving thought to something. And that something is what kind of mental and emotional diseases are going to come from the apocalypse. So I've come up with a few of these just for the Zombie Radio Nation. Let me read them off for you. Enjoy this bit. Agoraphobia is a fear of the mountains of gore outside. Apocalypse disease. You cannot remember your life before the Mengele Virus. BED, or brain-eating disorder. Your only hunger is for brain. OCD, obsessive cranial diet. You can only think about brain. It's one step above BED. And then there's PTSD, parietal temporal scrumptious disorder. That's when your palate has readjusted itself to believe human brain is a culinary delight. Of course, there's schizophrenia, when you believe you're a zombie, though you're not infected. Of course, we can't go without anorexia nervosa. You've become obsessed with being as thin as zombies, so you stop eating. Which of course is related to bulimia nervosa, where you binge and purge on brain. How can we forget zombie dysmorphic disorder? You believe one or more of your appendages have become zombified. And there will be many of us suffering from insomnia, which is when you sleepwalk as if you were a zombie. I know a few people that did that prior to the Mengele Virus. Of course, there is misophonia, where you hate the sound of zombies so much you threaten to puncture your own eardrums. And finally, we have the syndrome of syndrome, Monhausen syndrome, which is where you feign zombieism to draw attention of others. That one is going to be a tough one indeed, because how many people out there already suffer from Monhausen syndrome? Drop that little ditty on your loved ones and you might get your brain shot out. So there you have it. Just a short list of possible disorders that will come about because of the Mengele Virus and the apocalypse. Thank you, Zero Day Collective. Of course, that all reminds me of a wonderful song from the 90s by the Pixies. But I'm not going to play you the original version. Oh, no, my dear lovelies. I'm gonna play you a remake of that song. This is from the Sucker Punch soundtrack. It's by Yoav. The song is probably something that every zombie out there is already humming to themselves. And it is called Where Is My Mind? Enjoy, my dears. And now, ladies and gentlemen of the Zombie Radio Nation, it is time for another apocalypse survival tip. I've got a real good one for you here, but you're going to have to go along on a ride with me. Now, I'm sure that most of you have looked out your windows to see one of the moaners or the screamers grab a hold of an innocent victim and wrap their fingers around their head and smash their heads on the ground to get at their brain poi pudding. That's a tough one to avoid, but I have the solution. Now, you're going to laugh at me, but I believe that if we were all to walk about the apocalypse wearing bike helmets, that's right, bike helmets, we could prevent the zombies from smashing our heads open. But of course I realize that we're all going to look really goofy walking around with bike helmets on. I'm a cyclist. Sorry about that. Anyway, with this helmet on, the zombie can grab you and smash your head on the ground and they're not going to get to your brains. Sure, it's going to hurt. You'll probably wind up with a concussion, but I would much rather have a concussion than a missing brain. Now, the beauty of the bike helmet, and the reason why I don't suggest that you wear, say, a full-faced motorcycle helmet is this. If you're wearing a full-faced motorcycle helmet, and someone from a distance sees that you're a zombie and they try to shoot at you, bullet might ricochet off. Now, that'd be a great thing if you were still alive, but what happens if you're wearing your full-faced motorcycle helmet and a zombie bites you on one of your extremities and you become infected? You don't take your helmet off, well, guess what? You are officially a protected zombie. And we don't need a bunch of protected zombies walking about. We need zombies that can be taken down. Hence, the bicycle helmet. You see all these vents right here? And this styrofoam? Yes, it's going to protect your head from getting smashed on the ground, but should you become infected and you walk about a zombie with a bike helmet on, a bullet can still get to your brain. And you need to do all of us a favor and make sure that if you get infected, you can still be taken down. That's right, I said it. You need to protect yourself while you're alive and protect everybody else when you're infected. Bicycle helmet. Now, let's take that to the next level. Of course, I'm a DIY kind of guy, and I happen to love PVC. So, with that in mind, you can take a bicycle helmet and you can attach PVC to it, like so. See that? Right. Now, you have developed a system of attachments for your helmet that you can wear and you could put on. Now, of course, it would have to be stabilized and sturdy, and it would also have to be balanced because you don't want to walk around like this because then, of course, you look like a zombie. So, you can attach mirrors to it, maybe even a gun, if it's sturdy enough, of course. Whatever you want. Maybe like a feeding apparatus, something, I don't know, a lighted sign that says, I am not a zombie. Anyway, you get the idea. PVC and bike helmets. What a combination. Anyway, it is truly important that you protect yourself and in the end, protect humanity around you. This has been the Zombie Radio DJ and your apocalypse survival tip. Be safe and be prepared.